Hey everybody, it's Kat, and I want to welcome you to this episode of Backstory Sessions. I'm joined today by my co-host Willie. Hey Willie,
Hi, Kat. How are you?
I'm doing well. Um, we have a really exciting episode today.
Well,
I know you want to know all about it.
I sure do.
Well, I'm not going to tell you all about it,
Oh,
but this is a song. So there are those songs, and we've been having them lately that take me back to my childhood. And my dad, so this is a song again, Silver Threads and Golden Needles, that I remember hearing my dad play. And
okay. Did somebody by the name of let me see, did Dolly join in on that song by chance?
I think she might have. And
Okay.
so, my dad was a big Loretta Lynn, Tammy Wynette, Dolly Parton, like a really big fan of Conway Twitty, like all of that period of singers. But this song,
Good choices.
yeah, well, my dad was, that was my first experience with music. So I feel like he did train me well in that department. So, when I saw that this song was going to be re-released, I was so excited. And then I started looking at, who is singing this version. And that made it just all the more exciting. So today we have with us one of the singers.
Oh, wow.
I know. So we're going to get to hear, like, how did this come to be that this was a song and that they decided to, sing this one and re-release it for everyone to enjoy. Like, this will bring it to another generation, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, today I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest because we want to find out everything. Lee Newton, I want to welcome you to Backstory Sessions, and we are so excited to have you.
Oh, so glad to be here, Kat and Willie. Thank you guys for having me.
Well, it's our
Thank you.
pleasure for sure. When you first heard Silver Threads and Golden Needles, what did the song mean to you personally?
Oh gosh, you hit the nail on the head, talking about your dad listening to all those great country artists. And my dad was the same way. My dad, he was a cab driver, and I would go and hang out with him at the cab stand when I was a little girl. And he had his guitar, and he always played all those great, classic country songs. And so when I was a little girl, I know I looked up to Loretta and Dolly and Tammy and, all those wonderful Hank and Patsy. Those were the amazing singers that I grew up listening to. So, when I first heard Silver Thread and Golden Needles, it was the Dolly and Tammy and Loretta version. And I just loved it then. And I loved the video, and it was just sassy, and I just loved it.
Well, so how did your view, if it did, change at all once you were actually the one singing it?
Oh, wow. Well, after, going through life and life experiences, I've been in that boat now, where, you can sing it and really feel the lyrics of it. I've been in that situation. So it's singing it and actually getting to record it, it just meant so much. Just, going in there, and recording it, especially knowing that I'm going to be doing it with Tammy's daughter, Tammy Wynette's daughter, and George Jones's daughter, Georgette Jones, and then Dolly's niece is, Heidi Parton is on it, and it just meant so much to get to do this song.
Well, I mean, that adds a whole other level of specialness, I think, to this is
Mhm.
like bringing generational family
Yeah.
into this song. Um, so did they express like, did they have the same kind of experience like growing up? Did they remember this song fondly? And I mean, it just does seem to be a generation's, like, that's a long period of time that people
Yeah.
still know the song.
Oh, well, what's really wild about it is, Wanda Jackson is the one who actually recorded the song 70 years ago to this year. So,
Wow.
yeah, so this song has been going on for 70 years, and so many amazing artists from different genres. I mean, you have Linda Ronstadt that recorded, you had so many people that have recorded this song. But I love the way we did it. We did add that second verse in, like the way Wanda Jackson did. And when, I talked to the girls, about recording this song, most definitely, Georgette talked about her mom doing it, and, Heidi talking about how she was so excited to get to do one of Dolly's songs, her Aunt Dolly. And I thought, man, how cool is that? It started out as like a vision in my head. I've always loved this song. And I've recorded 4 albums and worked with amazing people throughout my career so far. But this has been just an amazing project that has turned into a great friendship between Heidi and Georgette and myself.
I can see that. And 70 years, like there are not a lot of songs. Like many people put a song out and it will be popular for a period of time. Um, but 70 years, I mean, that really is iconic, I think, when a song is continued. And there's no sign that it's stopping,
Yeah.
especially now. It's like, who knows how many years in the future that this song is going to still be popular. Um, what did it feel like when you realized that, you're a part of history of this song?
That, and that's even having my name even mentioned with the likes of the legends that have recorded this, like Dolly and Tammy and Loretta, and Wanda Jackson. I mean, you know, we, and I know personally for myself, I know I wanted to honor what they have done, and not take anything away from what they've done. I did want us to put our own little spin on it and, try to honor what they have worked so hard to do for country music. And so it was really awesome getting to be a part of that, and even having my name even mentioned with all these incredible artists is truly just incredible.
Well, this is amazing, and I can see how it honors them and all the artists that have performed this song while putting your own spin on it is honoring you as a group of artists too, and strong women. So I am just so excited that this has happened. So, Willie, okay, what do you think of this now that we've heard a little of the backstory?
Well, I just, how did it, how did you feel uh, doing a newer version of the song that I know you said that other lady, recorded it, but, it's sort of synonymous, with Dolly and Tammy. What was your going through your head when you were performing it? The feeling you had, like, I'm doing this song that they did.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's no other feeling like recording a song that has been done before. It's one thing to do a song that you wrote or a song that somebody's wrote but it's not been recorded. But when you go in and you're doing a song that, people are going to know that song, and so there's a lot, pressure, but there's, that hanging over your head, and I'm like one in there going, I just want to make sure that I give it my all, and I want them to be proud of the project that we did. I want people to love it and fall in love with it. If they've not heard it, I want them to be reintroduced to this song. If they've heard it before, I want them to love our version too. And so, yeah, it was an amazing feeling getting to go in and do that. For sure. Because a few years back on my Unleashed album, I did Working Girl Blues, which was Merle Haggard's Working Man Blues, but I did it with Leona Williams and Pam Tillis. And it was kind of the same thing, working with legends like that. It's truly amazing. And all you go in and do everything you can, and you want it to be just the best that it can possibly be.
So how did you go about after you had the idea? Who did you reach out to first?
Well, first, when I first had the idea of recording, like, I want to record this song, I was actually on the phone with my husband. He's on the road a lot too. And I'm like, I want to do this song. And I said, I said, first person that popped in my head was Georgette Jones because I love her. I love her music. I love just watching her career. She's just been super amazing, and I've always wanted to work with her. And but I didn't know her, and I was Facebook friends, but didn't really know her. So fast forward to about 3 weeks later, probably not even that. I go to Nashville, and I'm doing an interview, and lo and behold, the one that is doing an interview before me comes walking out, and it's Georgette Jones.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So it was like a God wink, And so she walks out, and I get to meet her, and it was kind of instant connection. She was just so easy to talk to. And so I told her, kind of that I had this project in mind that, that really honestly, I wasn't just saying it because she was in front of me, but I had thought about doing one with her. And so she, gave me her number. And once she, listened to my music, and so she's like, yeah, I'd love to be a part of it. And so I recorded it in Nashville, and she put her vocals on there. And then the next thing I'm sitting there, and Heidi Parton come into my mind. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to reach out to Heidi. I didn't know her either. But I reached out to her and told her, that Georgette and I had put our vocals on there, and what our plan was and stuff. And she wrote back so excited. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm in. She said, this sounds like so much fun. And she said, I've always wanted to do a song of Aunt Dolly's, And and it was instant friendship between the three. I mean, and once our voices came together, it was like, wow. We've had people come up and say, you guys going to do like a whole album, like the Honky Tonk Angels did. I'm like, we're all saying, we're not opposed to it, but it's, it could happen in the future. You never know.
Well, I mean, it almost seemed like it was destined to
Yeah,
happen in the way that it, came together.
yeah,
You must be, I can't imagine like what was going through your mind when Georgette was like, in the interview in front of you
yeah.
and then coming out.
Yeah. I called my husband immediately after I left. I'm like, you are not going to believe who was just at this interview. Because I had just mentioned to him about Georgette, a couple weeks before that. And I had went down there to sing at the Troubadour for the Cowboy Church there. And that after I'd left there, I went to do the interview, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's Georgette Jones. I mean, and that's the way it's always been with me. These past 6 years is when I started writing my music and going to Nashville and recording. And I mean, I have gotten to open up for so many legends like Ronnie Millsap and Randy Travis and Oak Ridge Boys, and the list goes on, and work with incredible people. And it's always happened that way, to where it seems like God puts the right person in the right path, and it's meant to be. So I just let him lead the way.
So do you find that that's the way that a lot of your music is led like that with just your songwriting? Does it work that same way in songwriting? Like, do you just run into some random idea that finds you and you're like, that's a song?
Yeah, I started, and it's crazy because I just started writing my own songs 6 years ago. And one of the first few songs that I wrote, most definitely, I always call them gift songs from God because literally they come so quick and so easy, and they're magical songs. Like my song "Strength of a Woman." Um, it has been so relatable with so many people going through different adversities in their life, and they've used my song to tell their story. And like on TikTok, there's been like over 60,000 videos made using my song. So it's like, wow, and then you have your other songs, you'll get an idea for it, and you kind of piece them together, and it kind of comes here, and you might go a week, a month, then you get the chorus to it, but there are those some songs that just come and you can write them within 10 minutes. I mean, it's so quick.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, when what made you write the first song? Like, did that one just come to you,
It,
or how did that happen?
oh, there's a big backstory to that.
Oh, yay! All right.
Yeah, I'd come actually from a domestic violence marriage, and over 7 years, and I had to literally flee with my little boy and run through briars barefooted to get to help. And um, during that time, I thought my whole world was falling apart, but little did I know that God was putting everything back together and making a beautiful life for me. From that moment on, I was like, you lead me, guide me. I will obey. And so he started putting people around me and angels around me and guided me. And literally, I started writing. That's where Strength of a Woman came from. I was driving down the road and it just came, and it was very healing for me. But once I got it back and released it, it's just been such a powerful song that has just resonated with so many people. And so I know that that's my purpose. So yeah, that's those few songs. Well, most all of my songs are very autobiographical from the time I grew up, what I've went through my life. And that, as a songwriter, that's what you got to do. You got to bare your heart and just let it all out. Sometimes it's very hard to do that, but that's what people relate to, because that's what people kind of, everybody goes through different things and they can relate to you.
Do you find it healing in some ways to get that feeling out into a song and then to know that it's impacted somebody else's story?
Oh, most definitely. It was healing for me when to write it, and when I got it back, I remember just listening to it and just bawling, crying, because it was just such a release, and it was so beautiful. Because by the time I got it back, and to see where I'd come from that moment of when I first wrote it, and now I wrote a book. I wrote several books, but one of them is called "Strength of a Woman, Heart of a Man," and it just tells my story. And I've met so many people that, like I said, that have has touched their lives. And one lady in particular, her name is Kim Gillian Steele, and she uh, had both of her arms and legs amputated due to sepsis. And she used my song to tell her story. And she is such a strong woman. And she had her video, and it showed her going through all that, and then it shows her getting fitted for her prosthetics, and then it shows her learning how to walk, learning how to cook. And then this next thing you know, in this video, she's jumping out of airplanes and scuba diving and runway modeling, writing her book. And just, she is so inspirational. But to know that she said my song helped her and helps her every day. She listens to it every day. So it's just hearing stories like that, it means so much to me.
Oh, I can imagine. Willie, what do you think? I mean, this is very powerful.
Yes, it is. I just can't imagine, what you went through. But
But
I,
look
it,
at, look what she's brought from that. Like you know,
yes,
found a purpose, her purpose, and now
yeah,
she's helping all these people at the same time.
yes, uh, you've come a long way. Seems like you're helping other people.
and that's what it's all about. I mean, I think that, you can go through things and you're going to feel hurt and you're going to, you could be at your lowest. But I think it's what you do with that moving forward. And you take that and you just don't let it beat you down, and get you down. And that's the one thing I was like, I'm not going to let this define me. It's a part of what I've went through, and I will always speak up and I will always advocate and help people. And I want to always tell my story and stuff, but you got to move forward too, and don't let that get you down, because like in my song, it says, after the rain, the sun will shine again. And it does.
Why do you think that some people just give up? Like it
Yeah.
seems like they can't believe the sun will come out.
Sometimes, and I can't answer that for everybody. I've seen people, and I've even got relatives that have went through stuff, even from my childhood, how I grew up very hard. And I've seen, even just my brother, it's sometimes people, they get so hung up on what has happened to them, it's hard for them to crawl out of
Hmm.
that state of things happening to them. And and I wish that I could help everybody that feels that way, and to let them know, they're not alone. They just have to reach out and ask for help. And and maybe a lot of people might not have that support system or just even a friend to talk to sometimes. So um it's sad to see when people, it's hard for them to get out of that hole, for sure.
Does faith, has that played a part in
Oh,
your journey?
most definitely. I grew up in church. My mama had me in church from the time I was little. My mom was a recovering alcoholic, and she had went through really bad depression. So that's what I grew up in. And my dad was always gone, working, trying to keep a roof over our head and try to get, as much food he could on the table. But but she always had me in church. And so I grew up singing in church, and the songs and my faith in God and Jesus, and it's carried me throughout my whole life. Now, when I did go through what I went through 6 years ago, I think it really tested my faith, because I stepped out not knowing exactly what in the world I was going to do, where I was going to lay my head that night. I had my little boy, and I was like, I know you don't want me to live through that. I'm stepping out on faith, and he made a way. And from that moment on, I have, and my son have never needed or wanted for anything. He provided. He always sent everything I needed. There was somebody there, even with the music. He made a way for me to go and record with an amazing producer, right off. He's put people around me in the music business. He sent me my husband now, who absolutely I just adore, and he adores me, and he's my best friend. And so, like I said, I had that faith and not knowing what was going to happen, but then he totally rebuilt this whole beautiful life for me that I get to do my music too. So it's just amazing.
That is amazing. And,
There's
I'm
very
so,
inspirational.
so happy, that it has turned out that way, and that also that you are using your music to tell stories, and the stories keep impacting others. And it's a blessing, like a double blessing, I think, for you. Do you, how do you think that country music for women has changed over the 50, 70 years?
Oh, wow. I think for one thing, like all the pioneers, the women that, like the Wanda Jacksons and the Dollies and Loretta's and Tammys, and moving on up to all of them. You just keep on naming names throughout history on up to today. There's been so many doors that have just been kicked wide open that have helped women, and men, but it's helped women really shine in country music, I think. And I love seeing all the new talented women and the songwriters, and I love sitting back and seeing just how many there are out there. There's a lot. Used
Yeah.
to there wasn't that many. I mean, you had some, but it was, mostly male dominated. I love the male music too, but it was more male dominated. But it's kind of like evened out now. There's a lot of women, and kicking booty too.
And we are thankful for that.
Yes.
So yay. Um, so in the song, is there a favorite line or a favorite moment maybe when you were recording? Um, was there something special from one particular part of it?
Oh gosh. Oh, I know when I finally got the final mix, of course, hearing all of our voices together, that was like a magical moment. It was like, whoa, this is too awesome. But I do remember just when I was recording it, just the feel that was in the recording studio and hearing that steel guitar on there. I love steel. I
Mm,
love steel guitar. And it was really awesome because I had just came from Travis Tritt in Hiawassee, Georgia, and
wow.
I had was backstage and everything, and I get to talking to the steel player at my recording session, and I knew he kind of looked familiar, but we were talking. He's like, "Yeah, I just came from Hiawassee," and I'm like, "Oh," I said, "I did too," and so we really realized. He's like, "Oh my God, yeah, you were there last time." I'm like, "Yep." So he was Travis Tritt's steel player, and he actually got to play on the albums, which was really cool. And just a talented steel player. But yeah, I think there was just so many moments. There's several lines in there I love. Yeah, I love the whole song. There's not even a particular line, but yeah, I just love the whole song is and listening to all of us together on it.
Did your voices sound together like you imagined that they would?
It was even more, it was better.
Wow.
I knew it was going to be great because they're just amazing singers. But, they just shine on their solos, that they do. But then, when they sing the harmonies with me, it's like, oh my gosh. Like, because, three people can sing together, but you never know how it's going to sound,
Right.
but it's like our voices just totally blended perfect. It's just that great harmony that just blended together. And so, yeah, it was way better than I hadn't even anticipated. And I knew it was going to be great, but yeah, blown
S-
away.
So the song's out now. Um, what's been the response?
Oh, people are loving it. It's getting played all over the world. I mean, England and Ireland, and of course, all over every state. And all the people that follow all of us have just like poured in the love for it. It's really taken off, and I just couldn't be even any happier. And I'm super excited because I'm getting ready to open up for Diamond Rio on,
Oh,
on May 29th.
yay.
Super excited about that. And even more excited because at that show, the people in the audience are going to get a really great treat because Georgette's coming in from Alabama and Heidi's coming in, and we're going to perform that song live for the first time.
Oh my goodness. Now this
Yeah,
is say that date and place again, so because everybody will want to be there for
yeah.
sure.
May 29th at Country Tonight Theater in Pigeon Forge. Be opening for the amazing Diamond Rio. They're so amazing. I've opened up for them before a few years back, so I'm excited to get to do that again. They're just so talented. And but yeah, that'll be truly an incredible night to get to perform that song on stage with him for the first time.
All right, Willie, Pigeon Forge, that's not that far away. So
Uh, That's on a Friday.
uh,
Yep.
sounds
Yep.
like a trip, that might need to be made there.
It's going to be an epic night, I'm telling you.
Do you like
Sounds like a lot of fun.
And yes,
oh yeah, it will be. Do you like singing with other artists? I mean, obviously you love the harmonies and all of that,
yeah.
but um, is that just something that you also like, is hearing another singer's style and
Oh yes, like what I did, like of course, like I said, I've had 4 albums out. I've gotten a chance to work with Leona Williams and Pam Tillis, and then on my gospel album, I was so blessed, and I've kind of been labeled the duet queen because, but on my gospel album, it wasn't going to be that way, but that's the way God wanted it to be, and He made it happen. So I have duets on there with the late Joe Bonzel from the Oak Ridge Boys.
Aw.
I have a duet with Rhonda Vincent, a duet with T. Graham Brown, Deborah Allen, Ben Isaacs. My husband's on there, my wonderful friend Kay Ship, and Tony Jackson. So, I mean, that. And at the end of it, it has my little boy singing "Jesus Loves Me," and
Oh,
it turned out it's called Crossroads, the album, and it is special. I'm telling you, it's so special. It's the songs that I grew up listening to. It's produced by Bill McDermott and Larry Strickland. I know you've probably heard his name.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, he did like over 200 something shows with Elvis and married to Nate Judd. So he was producer on that album as well. So it's very special album.
Oh, what's it like having your son singing? Is he a talent too?
Yes, he is something else. He's going to be some kind of entertainer. I'm not sure exactly why. His little mind is just so creative, and he
Oh.
he loves writing books and different things, and he'll go around singing. Um,
oh,
he is amazing. He most definitely is going to be in some kind of entertainment, some sort. I'm not sure what that, but he has perfect pitch. He can start singing, and he's right on key with the way a song is. He hears it, he can sing it in that key, like with acapella. It's so but he's been around music, his whole life. I mean, and that's the cool thing. Like, he goes to these shows, he goes to recording studios with me, for the Oak Ridge Boys, William Lee Golden comes out and he's like, talks to Cash. He's like, I know you, Cash. I see you from your mom's Facebook page, And, and Randy Travis, him being around Randy Travis when I opened up for him, and Cash has just he's got to be around so many legends that I'm like, one day, Cash, one day you're going to realize who all you've gotten to be around.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, and he's got a good name there, to
yep.
break out into entertainment. So,
he, he was named after Johnny Cash, that's for
I
sure.
was just getting ready to ask if he was named after Johnny Cash.
Yep, yep. And today's Johnny Cash's birthday too. So happy birthday to Johnny Cash.
isn't that something?
Yeah.
Well, um, so what is next for you? Um, it sounds like you're always with, new projects.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. So I've got, well, several shows coming up. I'm opening for Shenandoah, Confederate Railroad, and then, of course, the Diamond Rio. I got lots of stuff going on. I do a lot of stuff with Clemson, the ACC Legends. That's going to be in Myrtle Beach. All this is on my website on www.leenewtonofficial.com. But I actually am getting ready to release my newest album. It's called Beautifully Undone. And so what I did is I went back through all of my albums, all the songs that I've written, and picked certain ones that I wanted on this album and started working with my producer to strip them down and bring them back down to where it's acoustic and it's back to where it was when I first wrote them. So they're stripped down, they're intimate, they're beautiful. They're beautifully undone. So
that's a great title. Is
yeah,
that the title of one
that's
of
the
the
title.
songs?
That's the title of the album that's coming out, Beautifully Undone.
Wow.
Yeah.
And acoustic too.
Yeah.
I love acoustic.
Me
That's
too. And I love, to see, a song come together and it be, put together with all the musicians. But when you can strip down a song and have it at its bare form with just a guitar and a vocal, it's just beautiful and it's magical. And I most definitely wanted, to do that. So that's coming out within probably the next couple months. I'm gonna be releasing a couple singles off there and then the album. So super excited about that. And of course, like I've got my books. I wrote 4 children's books and I got a cookbook and all my other books are on Amazon. So you can just type in Lee Newton books and it'll pull all those up. I'm just a busy bee. So
well, it sounds like it for sure. Do you like performing and meeting the fans and being like able to talk with them after and get that feedback?
yes, I am. And to me, and I've always been this way, I don't call them fans. I call them my friends because I feel like, I mean, they become, my friend when they start following me. I love interacting with people. If, people follow me on my Facebook and I comment back to everybody. I get to know them. If they're at the show, I will stand out there to the last one leaves. I want to talk and interact with people because if it wasn't for them and sharing my stuff and commenting and just loving what I've done, and they follow along my journey. Um, and they love my little boy. They love my husband. They just, they're so passionate and they're so sweet. I couldn't have done it without them. So yeah, I love interacting with people.
All right, Willie. Our time is running down, so what is your final question? 'Cause
Okay.
I know you always have one.
And it's not going to be the one you think it is.
Okay,
But I
well,
am.
suspense.
Ooh,
Living or dead, what, or rather, who is your dream duet?
Merle Haggard.
Uh,
Merle Haggard, yes. He is by far, I think, in my book, one of the greatest songwriters of all time. I love him. And you look around our house, we have tons of Merle Haggard. We actually have the Merle Haggard's tour bus. We had the Super Chief tour bus. It was Merle's bus. Um, so yeah, I love some Merle Haggard.
what would you sing with him, do you think?
Oh my gosh.
There's so many to choose
There's
from.
there's so many. I, well, of course, I mean, I love That's the Way Love Goes, which he didn't write. Whitey Schaefer and Lefty Frizzell wrote that one. Of course, Johnny Rodriguez, who I've opened up for as well, did that song too. But I would love to sing that song with them. And I love Sing Me Back Home. That's one of my favorites. I love that song.
I could see a duet with you two in that.
Yeah, yeah, I
Uh,
did too. I wish I could have met him. So that was
well,
a
at,
question, really.
at least you are carrying on much of the music. So, who knows? Maybe you will do his song someday,
Yeah,
with some other opportunity that God puts, like in front of you or whatever.
exactly.
Yeah. So, you've given us like a lot of the upcoming things in your website. So, social media, we want everybody to go follow you on social media so that, they can stay in touch and communicate with you that way as well. In closing, what do you hope, like your music 70 years when somebody is having a podcast, 70 years from now, talking about your songs that you've written? Um, what do you hope the message is?
Oh man, it's the message that I hope for them is for hope. I want them to look at me and my body of work and who I am and my character and what I stand for. And I hope that they look at me and be like, wow, she spread kindness and she tried to bring hope to people, and with her music. Because that's I want to be able to share my God-given talent every day. And so yeah, I hope that my hope is for them to know that I spread a lot of kindness and hope for people that might be down on their luck, and if they hear my songs it might change their whole outlook on life.
And how powerful that is to think about. And who knows, wouldn't it be something if Cash someday is singing one of your songs and, touring himself?
How cool would that be? Yeah, I would be in the front row watching them.
Or he calls you up to do a duet with you. That would be super cool too. So,
That would be amazing. I would love that.
all right, Cash, if you're
Oh,
listening, get your mom up there one of these days. We're
Yeah.
cheering for you. Well,
okay. I
okay.
have, I have a question. Is that your dad's picture behind you on the wall?
Oh, this one right here. Yes, this is. I'll show it to you. This is my sweet daddy right here.
Oh,
Aw.
Yeah, that's my sweet daddy, and
what was his name?
his name was Larry Kirkendall. And at the beginning of the Crossroads album, there is a clip of my daddy singing I Saw the Light.
Oh,
It was
Oh.
one of his favorites, and I put it on the beginning of the gospel album. And then, of course, me and Rhonda Vincent do I Saw the Light. We go into our version. But it was so special to have my sweet daddy on my
oh,
I have my daddy and my husband, and then I have my little boy at the end, and then of course all the amazing artists. So yeah, that's a very special album to me for sure.
We're gonna have to
oh,
get that one, Willie, for sure.
Yeah.
yes. And is that like an award or something that he got underneath there?
Oh,
Hold on over
Willie.
here. These are my awards. God has been very good, and He has I have been very blessed, and I've won the awards for a lot of traditional country artists, traditional country song albums of the year. All of my albums have got awards for album of the year. This one right here, I just won for in Jacksonville, Florida, for best country Christmas song of the year, and it was so awesome because Don Knotts, his daughter, presented me with the award for it. It was so cool.
No,
Yeah,
really? Wow.
yeah, yeah. Barney Fife's daughter. So that was super, super cool. Well, her and Jack, the guy that played Jack Devereaux on Days of Our Lives, they both.
Oh,
Matthew Ashford.
oh my,
Wow.
Yeah, no,
oh,
super awesome.
like Don Knotts or not, like, was she funny or
Oh, she's so beautiful. I got and so sweet, and her and him both just like took a ton of pictures, and it was just a great event. I drove down there. No, actually, Miss I flew down there and then I drove back. That's how it was. But yeah, it was super, super awesome getting to meet her. She was just so nice. And I told her, I'm like, oh my gosh, I loved watching your daddy. And of course,
yes.
and
Yeah.
he has got an old soul because he loves watching Andy Griffith. If we watch even Mickey Mouse, he wants to watch the black and white older versions of Mickey Mouse instead of the new Mickey Mouse. He just loves the old cartoons, the Tom and Jerry. So yeah,
Huh.
Well, this has just been amazing.
It has.
We've
thank you.
learned so much more than I even imagined. So, best of luck to you, and I'm gonna try to talk Willie into
Yeah,
going to Pigeon
please.
Forge so we can see your concert.
Oh, that would be so awesome. I'd love to get to meet both of y'all.
Oh,
Well,
I would love to meet you.
Yes, I would love that.
all right. Well, this has been a great interview, and please go check out um, Lee Newton and all of her books and her upcoming projects, and Silver Threads and Golden Needles, which is now released, and support her in all her endeavors because she's going places and places and places.